I'm joined by the lovely
Mia,
with me,
Ash.
and together they make up the band.
Gecko.
So if you guys want to give us a rundown, what parts do you play in the band?
Yep, so I'm the drummer and singer.
I play guitar and a bit of vocals.
And I play bass.
No,
You're also the singer?
I'm also the singer.
Girl, thank you. So you guys have described yourselves as being comprised of the most badass rhythm section. Can you walk us through that? Why is this? What does this mean? And what makes you guys the best?
That sounds really egotistical. Set out.
No, not at all.
I've only ever read it.
It sounds horrible.
Yeah. We don't say it. Thank you. That's meant to be read.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess we call ourselves that because in our course we're studying jazz at Monash, and in our course we were the only three rhythm section players who were girls in our year, so we kind of bonded over that. I think that's where it comes from, and also just because we're a three-piece, we don't have like a standalone singer. We're all rhythm section people at
Yes,
heart.
yes.
Do you want to say anything?
I agree.
Yeah.
Good on you guys. So your debut album Miss was released earlier this year. Congratulations. How did the title come about? How did all that kind of emerge? How did everything come together?
So title-wise, that was a brainwave I had out of the blue, because I think the first song we ever wrote was about Mia's dog called Missy, and then I liked the idea of miss meaning multiple things. So it could be like, some of the songs are quite sad, or angry, or and you can miss someone, but then also we're all chicks, and I like the idea of it being like miss.
It's a sassy undertone.
Yeah, a sassy kind of Little Miss
That's
vibe.
right. That's right.
So yeah, I thought that covered a few things, and then I put it to the group, and yeah, that was that.
And even with the album art, there's a picture of Mia as a little kid. Small Mia, she's strutting down the pavement with her mum in the background. And that just encapsulates Miss attitude. There is an undertone of attitude there. Yeah, so that's how Miss came about.
Yeah, so that was in the making since 2019, because obviously there were lockdowns and we didn't play for a long time. So from that album we've changed a lot since then, because it's actually like 3 years old.
That's right.
Really now, even though we only released it this year. So yeah, we're really proud to have gotten it out because it took so long with all the interruptions. But yeah.
Yeah, congratulations again, and it's such a cool
Thank you.
concept. And now that you say it, like the cover artwork really does kind of encapsulate and it brings it all together. On the topic of Mia's dog, can you guys tell us a little bit more about your resident manager, the dog that you have featured, and just dogs in general? The feelings.
Yeah, well, Missy was my childhood dog, and she actually passed away in 2020.
I think so.
Yeah, so a while ago now. But yeah, she was actually a big part of the band because we started rehearsing at my house, and she'd always sit there in bed and just listen to us. It was really cute. But yeah, Ash has dogs as well. I have my family has another dog now as well. So we have a few dog managers, I guess.
And I just think Missy was our little mascot. It was she was
Very
so
iconic.
angry at the world as well, but so loving. And yeah, she would sit at the door and just bark at nothing, and we'd be like, what is she thinking? What's she so mad about? And then we decided to write Angry Missy song about her feelings towards that.
Yeah, she's a big part of the band because we had that song, and then on the next album, there'd probably be another song that I wrote about her passing. So it's a few songs.
Yeah, that's really beautiful, and great to hear that there's a fair few dog mascots for the band. So speaking of the band, a couple of name choices that came up included Peaches, Chickadee Riot, and False Topaz. How did Gecko end up sticking? And can you tell us a bit about some of the other names?
Gecko came about because I was talking to my drum teacher about music business and just like how are we gonna start this band and, for example, how's all this stuff gonna work? And he's like, let's just say, for example, your band name is Gecko, because I was wearing gecko earrings. And I kind of just let that slide, and then we were squabbling about names for like months after that, and we're just like, what about Gecko? What Tony said.
Yeah.
It's my teacher. So yeah, it just works, and I feel like it's not really labeling us, it's not really putting us in a box, because I feel like chickadees, which no one likes except me anyway, and like Peaches is very effeminate, whereas Gecko is more, it's just like gecko. It's like, maybe it's a bit Aussie, but other than that, it's not defining us, which I like. Do you want to talk about False Topaz?
Yeah, that was a name that I did come up with in the brainstorming sessions that went on for ages. I stand by it. It's a pretty cool name if anyone wants to use it. But I think Gecko just suited us best. But yeah, that was the first suggestion, and then we went round and round in circles for a while before, deciding on the very first thing we thought of. But yeah.
Thank you for your live confession. That was just like, I stand by that, because the backstory is that in our last podcast, this question got brought up, and Mia on air accused Ash of coming up with that name, and there was a visceral reaction on this end of like, no, I would never suggest such a thing.
Can I clarify? She didn't say you thought of False Topaz. She went, you thought of like some kind of rock name, and I had
some crystal.
Yeah, and I had no recollection, and then the interviewer was throwing out like amethyst, emerald, and I'm like, no, I didn't do this at all. But we did dig through the group chat, and I did start going down the stone route that I think False Topaz is actually quite cool. So yeah, there we
You
go.
stand by it now. Good on you.
I'm glad we cleared that up for the record. So guys, I know you guys are starting to get back into gigs, as we all are, a bit of live music. What does your dream gig look like? It can be anything from venue to audience. What are your thoughts?
For me, I love the Forum so much. Just like the ceiling and all the statues, and it's just such a nice venue. So that would be the big dream. Not even overseas, just the Forum. I would be very happy. Did you say lineup or just?
Yeah, light up as well.
Ooh. Oh, I don't know. I'm really into Alan and the Sniffers at the moment, so I think they'd suit our vibe. But I don't think we could headline.
I feel like it'd be cool to play at the NGV. Like, have you seen those live? That'd be sick.
Yes.
I reckon that's on the bucket list.
So cool.
Yeah.
No, back to you.
No, I'm quite
She's
I'm quite content.
So kind of in the same wave of like who we would want for openers and stuff, who are some like new artists that you can think of, or just artists that you're listening to in general? Who can you think, even like Melbourne scene or Nam scene in particular?
No, so we played a gig recently with The Delirious and Fletcher Gull, and they were really sick. Great performers, great songs, definitely. That was such a fun night.
The Delirious, you should go check them out. They did a song on piracy. You know that you never steal a car, you wouldn't steal a handbag. They did a song on that. It was like, it's my I was like,
What a cover.
what?
Yeah.
And I was just so mesmerized. I was just like, and then I got my phone out to film and it stopped. So yeah, pretty cool. Check them out. Should have anyone.
As an influence for our new direction of music.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've actually been trying to take jazz standards and mess them up and make them us. That's been fun.
I'm intrigued to know how. That sounds a bit fun, because I'm not familiar with jazz standards, but like that sounds pretty awesome to be doing, to be flipping that on its head.
Yeah, so the last one that we did was a Thelonious Monk tune called Well You Needn't, and actually it just started off as one of Ash's bass riffs, which sounded super badass, and then who realized
I
that
think it was you.
was it me?
Yeah. You were like, it sounds similar.
It sounds like this song. And then we were just like, what about this? And then and before you know it, it just kind of it kind of unfolded on itself. It was really fun. We should do that more, hey?
Yeah, we're pretty convinced we're gonna do that one as a bonus track on the next album, just because made it work
Yeah.
in a weird way.
Thelonious Punk.
Yes. No, you absolutely should. I, as would many people, be keen to hear it. It sounds so cool. So keeping kind of with the gig theme, if you could ask for anything on a rider, what would you be asking for?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
I'd want a sushi platter after though, because we had this saying that started called fish and chip it, that Ash started because our first gig we ordered fish and chips and we were so full and we just were like,
You walk onto the gig like just ready to take a nap.
Yeah.
So yeah, sushi post gig.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need.
I don't know. Coffee? I feel like that would really give
For
me
the
a
drive
boost.
home.
Yeah.
For the drive home. Because we always live so far from the gigs that we have to play at.
Mm-hmm. Or like,
Ice cream.
ooh,
That's fresh.
is like,
We
I
need
feel like
think
a
outside
place
the
to lie
box.
down would be
Yeah.
really nice. I have a bad back, so like having a little rest before we play might be really nice. So just like a flat, clean couch would be really awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's all.
I think that's it.
I feel like that was so uncreative.
No, that's fine.
Flat surface.
No, that was the most creative part. Like we're just like food.
A flat surface, yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I feel like a flat surface is a reasonable thing to want.
What about like a pep talk from someone? Hire someone to give us a pep talk.
Yeah.
Oh, like a coach, like sort of like before you get into a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Who would our coach be that we know? Is that Ali?
No, like a famous person.
We'll sleep on that one.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
So, I'm not too sure if anybody here has any tattoos. I don't myself. But if you could get a tattoo of any one of your lyrics, what would it be and why? It's one to ponder on, I'm sorry.
Well, as the bass player that doesn't sing, I learn our lyrics I learn new lyrics all the time. Where sometimes we'll play it through and I'll go, "Oh, Mia's been saying that the whole time," and I had no idea. So I'm gonna. You guys know the words, so you guys go first.
Oh, I thought you were gonna give me time.
No, sorry.
Maybe. Toe sucker, yeah. With like lots of H's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
I get that on my toe. On my toes. Across my toes.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if that would go across all the toes.
Maybe it has to go
Two
start on the
letters
toes
Oh,
and
that's
then
disgusting.
go up the leg.
That
No.
is
The ear's going up my leg.
Oh, that's so gross. We need to sleep on this. I'm sorry.
That's
heavy.
That's perfectly
This is
fine. It
there's
is
a permanent tattoos are.
yeah. Once
Like
it's
I'm
put in
sweating already. Like,
that's right. Once it's put in this interview, you guys have to get the tattoo. Sorry. No, I'm totally kidding. Oh my goodness. So guys, what is up next for Gecko?
So we're writing a lot of new tunes and we're going in a very not super different but pretty different direction where I think we've still got the same energy, the same attitude, but more jazzy in a rock context, rather than not power chords, but just
Grunge.
grunge, a bit less grunge, which is really exciting actually, because I feel like if we stayed the same, we wouldn't be growing as musicians. So I'm really happy with the direction. Do you want to elaborate?
I was just going to say that, yeah, as soon as we sort of started applying ourselves to writing new things, I think we all just realised how far we've come in the time it's been since we've written, and it's just sort of going to like start painting and finding you have like so many more colours than you thought, and we were like, oh wow, we can actually draw on a lot more
Yes.
a lot more tools than we thought we had. So
That's right.
that's been really, really fun. And yeah, sort of the jazz as far as the improvisation side of things, where we're happy to leave things kind of loose and go like, okay, this is the basic outline, and then on stage, or we'll just see how it develops. So that's been really, really fun. Yeah.
And I suppose always the organic approach and the trust. I feel like we've grown to trust each other more creatively, and that's why there's more space. There's more space in writing, because it's like we will figure this out organically, and maybe that is the spirit of improvisation. But that's definitely characteristic of Gecko now more than ever.
And also, like, our songs now are more collaborative, whereas before I think we had a few collaborative ones, but most of them were things we wrote at home and then brought in and workshop together, whereas now we're doing more jamming and making stuff right there and finishing it and fresh. Yeah, so that's fun.
One take. No.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's so great to hear, you guys. And thank you so much for joining us today on Between Two Amps. It's been great to hear, and thank you so much for the performance that is upcoming. But we can't wait to hear what you guys have for us next.
Thanks so
Thank
much
you
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.